Why is thinking bad?
I don't think thinking is bad. I just think it's overdone. You know, we think all the time, all the time, all the time. You know, I had trouble sleeping last night because of something that's coming up that, you know, is a bit of a problem for me, and I'm going to have to figure out how to handle it in a, good way. So I started thinking. I'm thinking and I'm thinking and I'm thinking and I'm thinking and I'm going, oh my God, I'm driving myself crazy with thinking. That I'm going nowhere with this thinking. It's just worrying. So too much thinking. Worry. How much do we worry? All of that worry is useless thinking. How much do we think about the past? Oh, did I say that? Was that okay? I don't know. What happened yesterday with that woman? I don't know. You know, we think about the past. We think about the future. They don't exist. There is no past. It happened. It's done. There is no future. It hasn't happened yet. It's going to be born out of your actions right now. So we're going to think it's a beautiful tool. We're spiritual beings in bodies, and we're here to have an experience. And we have these fantastic tools like thinking, which is overused, and tasting and smelling and hearing and feeling and touching and hands that can play instruments. You know, it's all pretty much a miracle if you allow yourself to look at that way. But thinking has taken over, and thinking has taken over because there's so much noise. You know, I'm gonna think about these reels. I just get a little shot of serotonin or dopamine or whatever these reels are giving me, and think about what it'd be like if I had 800,000 people following me. I don't know what they're thinking about, but it's, it's overused. Too much thinking. It's not a bad thing, but it's way overused. We should probably be thinking 25% of what we're thinking. The rest of the time, we should be being in a space, in the moment. Finding yourself in the moment, and that's another thing. As you find yourself in the moment and you're able, through meditation, to kind of create space and just be, we're human beings who've forgotten how to be. But when we can create space and just be, that's where inspiration comes in. That's where things come out of the sky. And not out of the sky, out of the ether, out of the ethos. And I believe this is a communication from outside ourselves to lead artists. You know, we get hits and we get inspirations to lead artists to lead humanity, because artists lead humanity. So that doesn't happen when you're thinking. The ego is thinking. The ego loves to think. I think about this. I think he likes me. I think she's nasty. I think I'm gonna, I'm thinking. It's too much. Actually, the ego is thinking because they're terrified that we are going to show up in our power and take over, which I believe is what's happening. I believe consciousness is rising very, very quickly, and the reason that the planet feels so rocky is because the darkness is right just as quickly. It's all happening very quickly, kind of like a race, and all we can do is be ourselves, and raise our vibrational level with joy, with gratitude. There are definite ways that you can make yourself feel better. And in that, this is what I think artists think they're their talent. They think, by the way, they're their talent. And they get very unhappy with me because I say, you're not your talent. They don't like that much. I say your talent, or the reason of your talent is your sensitivity. Artists vibrate at a high, they're very sensitive, and they vibrate at a very high frequency. And it is in that frequency that they receive, Michelangelo. What's in the marble? Let's see, I'll take that away and that away and that away. And I don't know if you've ever seen the David, but just thinking about it, it takes your breath away that a human being created that. That comes from the ethos. That's your higher consciousness. talking to you.
And I think you talked about in the book that with the higher frequency, it can have a flip side as well. So we've seen, let's say, Van Gogh or something where the artist can go to a dark side, which can be very detrimental.
Yeah.
And that's something that we have to watch as sensitive people.
Yeah, yeah. And how does he get to the dark side? Thinking. What do you think was on Van Gogh's mind? There's a lot of thinking going on. I'm not good enough. I can't, I don't fit in. I don't, if you just give people the grace of just being, of just stilling themselves, stillness, extraordinary. Just the balance. If I just do that for 1 second like that, you see the balance of I don't know, maybe he likes me, maybe he doesn't like me, maybe I should call, maybe I shouldn't call, maybe there's something on my email, maybe there's not. Did they email me? I don't know. Just practice being, practice stillness, practice breathing into your heart. I never say his name right, but I'm going to say it anyway. Thich Nhat Hanh. Is that right? Thich Nhat Hanh.
I think so.
Anyway, the magnificent Buddhist who brought, meditation or mindfulness to the West, he says, I breathe in. I know that I am breathing in. I breathe out. I know that I am breathing out. That's it. This is such a gift to self. 5 minutes. And it's a gift to self because it's a gift to you as a spiritual being. Not thinking, and not your future, or not your past, or not any. Just be here now. 5 minutes a day. And you won't, by the way. Your thinking will come in and go, oh, I think that, that's okay. It's not bad. You just go, oh, thinking. Just note it. Go back to breathing. That's the practice. It's like flexing a muscle. There is no wrong way to meditate. I didn't want to meditate. I have a busy mind, and I thought I'll be terrible at it. I don't like to do things I'm terrible at. I'm sure meditation's great, but I'm not going to be good at that. But then I had a high blood pressure thing, I said, oh, your blood pressure's high, you got to take medications, And I'm like, no, I'm not taking your medications. I'm very, no medications, thank you. So I thought I'll do it with diet and try diet and meditation. And I did, and went down to normal. So I took a class, in mindfulness. It was wonderful. And I realized, oh, that's how you flex the muscle. You're breathing. I breathe in. I know that I'm breathing out. And I breathe out. I know that I'm breathing out. And then I'm thinking. Oh, okay, I'm thinking. Just note it and go back to breathing. Just note it. That's how you teach yourself to create space. That's a thinking space. This is a being space. Two very different things. Thinking space. Oh, I'm thinking. You don't even have to judge it. Oh, okay, I'm thinking. I think I'll have a heyday with this thinking. I'm going to go right on, with this thinking. I like it. Or, oh, I'm being. Oh, thank God. I needed a break from all that thinking.
I'm hoping we can talk about soul speak. I think in your book you talk about mental chatter. And when we have mental chatter, we enter a space where we can't hear soul speak.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, this is what I was just really talking about. There are different languages on the planet. We're just like we're obsessed with thinking, we're obsessed with English. We're obsessed with language. And English, Americans don't even learn other languages because, we got this good language. I can't be bothered. They all need to learn to speak English anyway, or whatever it is. But, we're obsessed with language. Language is a wonderful tool, but like thinking, it's way over, it's too much talking. So, I talk about these things. I hope that they're interesting to you. But, you can have communication with trees, and you can have communication with rocks, and you can have communication with the ocean, and you can have communication with sky, and you can have communication with animals. People understand that. They have deep, really loving, wonderful communications with their animals. You can do the same thing with any life form on the planet. And, that alone, if you have to listen for your energy exchange with a tree, then you're able to listen to the counsel of your own heart, which is really your higher consciousness, which is really all consciousness. We're all the same. We're all expressions of the universe. It's very clever, the universe. I'm going to have all these people, and they're all going to have different reflections of me. I'm going to give them all the same tools and go. And then, the person, lives in a matrix. They think and they create their life. You're doing it. So if you're doing it going east, you could just as well turn the corner and go west with your own thinking and your own actions and your own desires. So the question was soul speak. How do you listen to your soul? That happens in stillness, but it also happens by accepting the fact that it's a different language. It's, thinking is in English. You don't think, in anything but English. All your thoughts are like, they're language thoughts. Listening to your soul is not a language, it's an energy exchange, like with trees. When I was little, I was really lonely. So did I talk about the fact that, I had parents and they were artists, but they kind of just put you on the planet and said go, and there wasn't really a lot of, hugging or cherishing. Cherishing is such a beautiful word, that we should cherish each other like a husband and wife cherish each other. What does that mean? That means that you're going to practice kindness. That means you're going to practice the gratitude of having that person in your life. That's what cherishing is. So I don't remember that being a child, and I really thought it should be there. I had a lot of ideas of what a parent should be, and people should listen to me and acknowledge me, and I had these ideas, and I wasn't doing well with people. I wasn't doing well with people, and I didn't find them authentic. But I lived in the woods. We had woods surrounding us, so I would just go to the woods all day, and it's like being in a Disney movie. I mean, sometimes I think, you sound like Disney, Jocelyn, but I don't care. It's true. I had relationships with trees, and this one was, female, and this one was male, and this one I talked to about certain things, and this one not, and that one I didn't really have a relationship with, and that one, I don't know, something went wrong with that one. I don't want to go over there. It scares me. I was working with energy fields and very communicative, and I felt they raised me. I had certain trees that I really took counsel from. Now, what does that mean? I mean, did they speak to me? No. But it's like having a chiropractic adjustment. I would maybe ask questions of the tree, or I would look to the tree with my energy field of I am unhappy and lost. And the tree would send back something to my heart that was so soothing. It's okay, we're here. And so that was kind of my natural state with things. And then one day I realized I could communicate a little more because, I was going to school, and my birthday was coming up, and I felt very birthday-esque. I didn't think this was going to be kind of a celebration of my dreams, which would just be for somebody to see me and go, hi, how are you? What are you doing here? What do you want to do? I see you. I see that you're special. I see you've come for a reason. So I was feeling very sorry for myself, and I was going, I just don't get it. I don't get why they don't see me. I mean, I came here. I thought, I would make my parents happy. I should see that joy in their eyes, Where's the joy in the eyes, They just look kind of worried to me. I don't get it. And I heard this was not language, but the closest thing, a concept. And this artist worked with concept all the time. The thing comes in not as language, it comes in as concept. And how do you know it's concept? Because it hits your heart. Something moves in you, and you go, what? And it came in, we're here, and we might just have to be enough. And I went, okay, that's good. It would be nice to have a third dimensional person somewhere down the line, But I heard it loud and clear. And from that time on, I could kind of get around and feel like, okay, this is my place. My place is these kinds of communications, and then later in life it was to pass those gifts on or those concepts to others who might enjoy them. I knew there were going to be lots of them going, that's fine. That's fine. You can't be responsible for people's response. You can only be responsible for your intention and what you offer as a human being.